Yeah, moving away. He was always moving away. He was going his own way. If it was now in the avant-garde direction or not. When he met Yoko, it was for him really like the light bulb. Suddenly, you know, this is it. He loved the woman, and he loved that whole direction. And we had a trip, John, me, Yoko, and a whole bunch of artist friends from New York. And we had a ball. It was great. We went on the ship, on the Circle Line, that goes from New York Harbor up the Hudson River. And it was fantastic. We were having a great time. Those people, I loved it, and John loved it, and I think there's great stuff that came about. Of course, it's not that commercial. You can always say, oh, he's doing something that, no, you don't want to, we don't want this. You could even say on the Revolver cover, that was already something so avant-garde in comparison to what else was commercially on the market. And when I heard the music, like Tomorrow Never Knows, I couldn't believe it. And I thought, I am supposed to do a cover for this. It was a hard task, you know, to do. And I tried to let both ends meet somehow. Like have the people that are normal, like working in an office, and at the same time having other people that are very avant-garde to really get the feel of it. And I tried to combine those two things. I couldn't go too far, too crazy. It had to be one direction. So I think this avant-garde and always doing something new, I think that's what you could call avant-garde. Even in those days, the stuff they were doing, that was way out, man. They were just playing cymbals backwards, guitar solos backwards. They really started all this. I mean, when John did this by himself, you see, that's what, maybe that's interesting. That when they were in the studio, they were so excited when they got a little gadget, like a phase shifter. Never, ever anybody had a phase shifter. So they took this thing, said, oh yes, and they had little knobs on it. And John was going, oh yeah, this is fantastic. He loved it. Same if a sound comes out of the amp. If it came because they turned it up full and it gave a crazy distortion, or if it was because it was faced against the wall and the microphone was over there. They experimented from the very first time. Now, they tried to. You see, but George Martin was the producer and he had things in his hand, and then bit by bit they took over. They took the studio over and did what they wanted to do with the studio, and the other people were all servants for them. Paul's very, very interested in this, and he still is, but he always has the tendency back to the commercial stuff, and that's Paul. Paul is not, I wouldn't say a split personality. Paul wants to be avant-garde and at the same time commercial, which like an Andy Warhol or somebody, you know. He is, you know, you will all know what I'm talking about. But that's very, very difficult. It's very, very hard to do. Some people make it, like John didn't do it because it wasn't that successful, and Paul didn't do it because he wasn't that type of an artist.